My name's Ralph Keeton. I am a medium and an exorcist, and I own the Extraordinarium Museum, which in its own right is a haunted building. It's an 1876 funeral parlour.
The scariest has to be the most recent, where a woman set on fire in front of me. My name's Ralph Keeton. I'm known as an exorcist. I was really young. I'd been in an old rundown house and this thing appeared and I shouted something and the thing disappeared. It's only when I started to think about it a bit more and I started to look at what ghosts and spirits and things like this were that I realised that I could interact and I could talk and I could get involved with them. Trial and error got me going more than anything else. I tend to think of myself as a negotiator. I'm finding out why, what for, and who I'm dealing with. And I'd try to do it in such a way as trying not to aggravate anything or anybody, so I can find out what I'm doing with them. And then it was trial and errors to find out what makes something move, what makes something interact with you, and what I can do to calm them down. I got asked to go to a family in the middle of Yorkshire, big house, and they were building a new room and tools were disappearing. The guys that were in there kept complaining of noises and equipment being moved and the ladders they were on being shook and stuff. And this family knew about my mediumistic side of it, so they asked me to go up and do a clearance, so I thought I'll have a go. Went in and got hit full in the face and thrown out the room and realised that this energy that was in front of me was a lot stronger than me. So I had to sit back and think, gather myself together, go back in and deal with it, and did a clearance. The scariest has to be the most recent, where a woman set on fire in front of me, because that's certainly physically the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced. Call it freak, call it a lucky accident, or call it an energy showing off in front of me, but it did. I'd heard of things going on, flames and fire. But when it actually happens in front of you and you're dealing with a bad energy anyway, it changed me completely. Every case is different. Every time the police go to a house or somebody goes to somewhere, you have to deal with them as you see them. If it's a Muslim house, I'll go and do a certain thing. If it's a Jewish house, I'll go and do another certain thing. If it's a Catholic house, I'm coming in on like a neutral basis, so I'm respectful. Plus the energy I'm dealing with, I don't know what I'm dealing with until I say hello to it, and that's a feeling. I can sense when I walk into it whether it's good or bad straight away. Gone are the days of people thinking that I go in and do a clearance and I'm out. I can be there for months. My family basically all military, so there's a line, you're either right or you're wrong. And I came home one day from school. My dad had bought a rocking chair and brought it into the house. I walked in the house just straight from school and screamed my head off and ran up the stairs. And I went, I can't go past that lady, I don't like her. And for 3 days I refused to come down the stairs, so my dad moved the chair out and I came downstairs. So my dad took it back to the antique seller. The antique seller, well, what's he seeing? And I described this lady who had a scarf around her head, but her jaw was to one side. And the antique seller went, that's actually my mum, it's my mum's chair, and that's what she died. She died in the chair and she had a broken jaw. So my dad freaked. Go and try and steal something, right? You get a feeling when you've got hold of that thing that you know you've done wrong. That weird feeling is the sensation I get when I walk into a property, knowing something's out of balance. If it's what I call a higher energy, something really special, then I get a tingling sensation. And that's like pins and needles, and I'll either get it down my hand or across my face, or I can feel it, and I know then I'm dealing with something of a higher level, a nicer level. And you might get people that stand there and go, oh, I felt like something's gone through me. Something has. We either dissipate them, in other words, spread the energy, move it, blast it apart if you want to sort of look that way, or the other is we just calm them down and bar them from a property or just talk to them. 99.9% of the cases I go and see, I don't clear it, I don't get rid of it. It's just the 0.1% that you need to deal with. Because most of it, it's just talking to them or settling them down, or as human beings we upset people. So in a lot of properties I've been in, It's you've got to get used to the fact that you may have an energy with you, but they're okay with you being there once we've talked to them. You aren't going to get rid of it. And I don't feel I should have that right neither. If something's lived there for thousands of years, or hundreds of years, or 10 years, what right have I got to go in and just blast it out of the way? That's not the way I work. Anybody that does come to me, that talks to me about it, listen, I'm not just going to pick up my phone or pick into my car and go down and see them. There's a long conversation I have with them. We have to check that it really is something that's going on and it's not just them that want me to go and do something. I'll ask them if they've gone through the religious thing first. I'll ask them also if they've gone through a doctor first, psychiatrist first. Does that make sense? Before I go and start tackling it. Because I do it for free. It's not something I charge for. I go in because I'm interested as much as they are as to what's causing them an issue. Well, the thing is, you need non-believers. Here's the reason why. Because you need people to keep you on the ground. I mean, I believe in what I believe in, and I believe in this sort of stuff. But even I will take a step back before I do anything because I need to make sure, I need to check. You have to apply logic because most people in life go, I'll only believe it when I see it. So when you've got people that don't believe fully, and they want to find roots for it, fine, let them. I'm not worried about them, I'm more worried about what actually really is happening. That's a different energy entering the room.